Yo, check it out, I gotta speak the truth about the hardest working.
Welcome back to the CryptoFather channel. Today is the 16th of May. It's a Friday and there's a lot of information that I wanted to share with you today. Today is going to be a video in which I go over a lot of information on the news front of cryptocurrencies. So make sure to strap on your seatbelts because there's a lot of stuff. So let's unpack it over the duration of the next 30-40 minutes. Quite possibly it's going to be a lengthy one, because I wanted to include a lot of info that I found I thought would be relevant and you might want to know to conclude this week. So make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, stick around till the very end so you don't miss any of the fantastic info I'm about to bring to you. First things first, as always, we're going to jump into the markets. We've got $3.4 trillion in trading volume, which is the same as it was. Bitcoin has jumped back up to 60% of dominance and Ethereum retraced a little bit, 8.93. Bitcoin at $103,000 right now. Ethereum below 2,600, so 2,536. BNB 652, Solana 169. Some are talking, predicting $210 Solana. Once again, that would be nice to see. Cardano 76 cents, Sui 387, Toncoin at $3.09, Litecoin dipped below $100, Polkadot below $5, 479 unfortunately. Picoin is seeing a massive dip, so I guess the 120% pump over 7 days has run its course and now people are taking profits from those suckers who are jumping into the Picoin environment and took some profits. 120%, man, that's a pretty nice gain, so I assume that people are reselling it again. Monero at 339. I got a friend who's been mining this for 5 years now straight. Pretty good. At a loss, mind ya. And a quick look at Meowcoin. Meowcoin remains the same as it was, with a slight retracement of 2.49% on a 24-hour with a market cap of $519,000. Looking at the Bitcoin charts, not much has changed. Bitcoin is continues to move sideways within the channel of $104,000 and 100 as resistance and $101,000 as support. This is what we're going to see it for the next couple of days, most likely. So what's happening, man? There's a lot happening on the forefront, on the crypto front. Coinbase has been attacked. Coinbase has been attacked by cyber criminals, and Brian Armstrong, they demanded a $20 million ransom to prevent them from releasing customer information, which apparently they have collected. And so Brian Armstrong, the CEO of Coinbase, came out with an announcement stating the following. It's a 2-minute video or a 3-minute video, so I'm going to play it. Have a listen.
Hey everyone, I want to make you aware of a disturbing email that we received recently at Coinbase. It was a ransom note demanding $20 million in Bitcoin in exchange for these attackers not releasing some information they claim to have obtained on our customers. Now, we like to do things transparently here at Coinbase, and so I'm going to respond publicly to these attackers by saying no. We are not going to pay your ransom. In fact, I have a few next steps in mind that I'm going to share at the end of this video. But for the rest of you watching, wondering what happened, we did an investigation here. And these attackers have been approaching our overseas customer support agents, looking for a weak link, someone who would accept a bribe in exchange for sharing some customer information with them. Now, our support tools have limited access to customer information. There was no passwords or private keys or funds accessed as part of this. But customer support agents do have access to personal information like name, date of birth, address, etc. And attackers still want access to this information because it allows them to conduct social engineering attacks where they can call our customers, impersonating Coinbase customer support, and try to trick them into sending their funds to the attacker. Now, unfortunately, they were able to find a few bad apples. Our systems are designed to mitigate the impact of something like this, so less than 1% of our monthly transacting users had their records accessed, but this is still unacceptable. And I want to tell you what we're doing about it. So first, any customers that were socially engineered as a result of this incident, we're going to reimburse them. There's more details on our website, on our blog post about the reimbursement process. You can read more there. Any customers who have been impacted by this or have been notified at this point. Number two, we're hardening our systems around customer support to make something like this much more difficult in the future. And third, we're actually relocating some of our customer support operations as a result of this. But the last step is maybe the most important, which is that instead of paying this $20 million ransom, we're turning it around. And we're putting out a $20 million award for any information leading to the arrest and conviction of these attackers. For these would-be extortionists or anyone seeking to harm Coinbase customers, know that we will prosecute you and bring you to justice. And now you have my answer.
And so that's just like that, Brian Armstrong flipped it on them. So instead of agreeing to pay the $20 million ransom, he says, we're going to reward anybody who can bring you suckers to justice. Well done. Here's what they don't tell you, what I've been telling you, and what these jokers, man. JP Morgan suddenly turns bullish on Bitcoin. Surprise, surprise. So I don't know if you ever heard JP Morgan or whatever his name is, Jamie Dimon, talk about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies like over the past 2 years or 2 years ago, and they were all of them unanimously were saying how bad it is and it's tulips and this and that, and now all of a sudden, you know, they're all in on it. So be careful, be very, very careful of these people. Don't trust these a-holes coming on the news and telling you, you know, that they know the Bible, they know the economic Bible, and they know what they're doing, because they're just flat out liars. They are out to secure their own profits. They're out to make sure that they are safe and they make profits. And the rest of you, they don't give a shit about the rest of the public. Banking giant JP Morgan has predicted that Bitcoin could outperform gold on the second half of the year. Now all of a sudden they know the answers. Like, this is what people have been talking about. People in crypto and Bitcoin have been talking about for years. And now all of a sudden these gurus come out. Man, it pisses me off. These gurus come out and presume to know everything better than everybody else. They don't. If you listen to these clowns, to these jokers talk, you realize that they're not special. They're just average Joes. They don't have a stronger diction than the average person. They're not that much more literate than the average person. I think the only person that I've actually heard talk sense and seems to be very well versed in economics is Raw Paul. The main bank heads like Jamie Dimon and Peter Schiff, when you see Peter Schiff as a constant troll, the tweets that he put out were embarrassing. In my mind, were completely embarrassing. And it's a surprise that he is a CEO of a massive VC venture capital firm or whatever the heck he's the head of. It's absolutely ridiculous. He's a clown. So, but the point is that these guys, these banks are now going to turn and begin to start stacking up Bitcoin. But do not be fooled. They will do it temporarily. They will do it for gains, and they will make sure that there is a retracement again. So that's a good thing. These banks will be looking to take profits. And so the bear market will continue. Bitcoin to outperform gold in second half of 2025, JP Morgan. So this is just a follow-up basically on what was said in the previous article. Gold has been losing steam recently after it raced to record heights due to geopolitical and economic uncertainties, including tariffs. You have to keep in mind that the thing with gold is it's a precious metal and it's best used for technology, for the development of technology and for, you know, jewelry and stuff like that. But as a payment, gold is completely useless, right? It's got a store of value, but it's not a very useful way of payment. Even if you were going to mint coins, I mean, gold is heavy, and to hold it in a pocket in the form of coins would be impossible. Transporting it across long distances is also cumbersome and expensive because it's heavy. While Bitcoin is very easy. Cryptocurrencies are easy to transport over long distances in very short periods of time. And so as a form of payment, gold is completely useless. And we all know that this has been known for a very long time, right? But so this is the sentiment that major banks are now projecting. The Abu Dhabi Sovereign Wealth Fund disclosed owning 511 million Bitcoin through BlackRock's ETF. Another institutional investor, BlackRock, is now in the similar boat to MicroStrategy. They've been collecting Bitcoin in order to sell their IOU notes to investors. Basically, the BlackRock and MicroStrategy, despite the fact that Michael Saylor is a proponent of Bitcoin, has been for a long time, he is in the same boat. He is an institutional investor, and therefore he is not distinguishable from the likes of BlackRock. I mean, the only difference between Michael Saylor and BlackRock is that Michael Saylor has been preaching Bitcoin for, since the inception, is the very first individual who has started investing into Bitcoin. But his idea behind Bitcoin is the same as BlackRock's. It's profits for him, and some of the driblets are coming to his investors who are investing into MicroStrategy, and therefore they gain exposure to Bitcoin, so they say, but they don't actually hold Bitcoin. Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy hold Bitcoin. Same goes with BlackRock. The ETFs that are being put out for sale that people invest into give people exposure to Bitcoin, but people who invest in ETFs don't actually own Bitcoin. That's the major difference. Just in, Bitcoin should have the same network value as gold at 23 trillion, which would make Bitcoin 1.5 million at least. Tomly fund stat. And I made a video about this before. 23 trillion is a lot, considering that the overall money supply, the global money supply, is at 123 trillion. So we're talking about a massive chunk of it, because gold is not going to go away, right? It's not like gold is going to lose its value overnight and go to zero. That's obviously impossible. So we're looking at gold having 23 or 21 trillion dollars market cap overall global of the overall global money supply, and now we're talking about Bitcoin owning the same amount. So that's like 46 trillion dollars out of 123 or 121 trillion dollars of overall global money supply. So where is that going to come from? It's gonna have to be siphoned out, unless banks start producing more money, start printing more money, and increase the overall money supply in order to push Bitcoin to those prices and give Bitcoin that $23 trillion money supply or market cap value. Because otherwise, where is that money going to come from? Ukraine drafts bill to add Bitcoin to war chest in the National Reserve next. As Ukraine faces wartime financial pressure, the move to draft a national Bitcoin reserve bill shows a bold bet on decentralized resilience over traditional monetary dependence. Ukraine is reportedly taking steps towards adopting Bitcoin as a national reserve asset in what could mark as a change in its financial strategy amid the ongoing war with Russia, according to a local media outlet Encrypted. On May 14th, a draft bill proposing the creation of a state Bitcoin reserve is nearing completion. Ukraine is considering partnering with Binance to create a national strategic Bitcoin reserve. Government officials confirm that a related bill is being drafted and will be submitted soon. Binance expressed support for Ukraine's vision to establish a strategic crypto reserve. Now, this is a good and a bad thing, I guess. In one way, it's good that Bitcoin is being pushed forward and cryptocurrencies are being adopted. On the other hand, we're looking at basically using cryptocurrencies to fuel or to fund wars, which is not the best thing, right? Also, not a very good look for cryptocurrencies, because I know that there's going to be jokers out there saying that, pointing fingers and saying, look, cryptocurrencies are used to fund wars, when fiat has been doing that for ages now, right? But of course, Ukraine's Bitcoin push faces hurdles as lawmakers finalize crypto regulations and tax plans. That's going to take a while, as it does in every country, because for the most part, I think tax plans are outdated and old in most nations. They've been around for a very long time. There are only a few countries that have revised tax plans and have managed to adopt their tax plans to include cryptocurrencies. But for the most part, like South Korea is a perfect example, man. 5 or 6 years in the making, they still can't get their heads around cryptocurrencies and how to include them in their tax plans. And therefore, there is no specific regulations just yet. They're coming up with bits and tidbits, and I assume that within the next couple of years, South Korea is going to implement something. I would expect that for the next bull run in 2029, we're going to see some proper crypto regulations implemented in South Korea. But until then, I think we're still in clear waters. And Warren Buffett has retired. This must be an old picture, obviously, because Mr. Munger is no longer with us. But billionaire investor Warren Buffett convinced eToro CEO to focus more on stocks and less on crypto. So Warren Buffett, it seems to be the only person, the only institutional investor who is still adamant about staying away from crypto, while the other jokers, JP Morgan, Peter Schiff, they bend whichever way they will. So kudos to Warren Buffett for sticking to his guns and not being a flaky little joker like the other two. Why is a Chinese logistics giant investing in the Trump meme coin? Adentix Group, a Chinese logistics firm, is negotiating to purchase 800 million in crypto assets, including Bitcoin and the Trump meme coin. Has Trump negotiated its way into selling his meme coin to China? Is that what's happening? The firm's interest in Trump may be linked to navigating US-China trade tariffs, similar to another logistics company's recent move. Adentix Group, Chinese international logistics firm, is negotiating to purchase 800 million in crypto assets, including such as Bitcoin and Trump. To be clear, Adentix is mostly aiming to buy Bitcoin. According to its press release, its negotiations with unnamed token holders who hold around 8,000 Bitcoin. This alone would represent an investment of 800 million, but Adentix is looking to diversify its potential holdings. However, the Chinese firm only listed Trump as an altcoin that it could purchase alongside Bitcoin. Now, the announcement did have some insignificant impact on the meme coin's price. Trump recovered to $13 after falling below $12.50 earlier today. Interesting stuff. Adentix Group Corporation, is this their stock price? 65 cents? Not a very massive stock price for this particular group. So I guess buying Bitcoin, not unlike MicroStrategy, could push their price up higher. And Ethereum building up momentum before a massive breakout, predicts Michel van de Poppe. Here are his targets. In a new thread, crypto trader Michel tells his 786,000 followers on the social media platform that ETH might first dip to the 2200s and then rally up to 4,000. That's his prediction. Here are some charts. He's looking at this resistance here, then a drop down and a rebound. Let's see what happens. I mean, you know, I don't know, like all these analysts, they all know what's going on. When Bitcoin pumps, everything else pumps. And Ethereum has never dumped to the gutter. I mean, yes, Ethereum has been claimed to be, or is called, stable coin, and it's been dipping and dipping. But overall, when Bitcoin pumps, when we're going to see a massive pump on Bitcoin, we're going to see a massive pump in altcoins as well, because the overall market cap is going to move up. And so Ethereum is going to pump, and it's not no news. And so these analyses are completely pointless in my mind. They're absolutely pointless. If you are trading, it's a different story. You got to pay attention, you know, to minute by minute ticks on the charts. But if you are simply holding in your spot wallets, then who cares? It's all going to go up. All markets tend to go up over time. And this is just a quick reminder of what is going to happen after the bull market is done and bear market is about to return. Crypto market dips as Fed remarks spark volatility. Just a remark from the Fed. Any announcement from the Fed will create volatility, will create uncertainty, fear, and doubt. Fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and markets will dip. And so that's what's going to happen in the bear market. Once the profits are flushed out, once profits are taken, the market will begin dipping. And once it starts dipping, it's going to go down south very, very fast. And so don't expect anything else but that. 226 million Bitcoin exit Binance and Kraken in 3 hours. What's happening? That's a big amount. Whale withdrawals hint at Bitcoin accumulation. Per the transaction, the whale withdrew 2,218 Bitcoin from 2 different exchanges. Binance and Kraken, their withdrawals value is 226 million. So this is an accumulation phase. This could be going anywhere. Any whale could be storing that. So all good. More Bitcoin in their pockets. They're stealing it from you, people. Cardano announces one of the largest retail airdrops in crypto history. Charles Hoskinson has revealed new developments for Cardano's upcoming privacy-focused sidechain Midnight, including a massive multi-chain airdrop initiative aimed squarely at retail users. Speaking Consensus 2025 in Toronto, the Cardano founder announced that Midnight will distribute 2 new tokens, Night for governance and Dust for private transactions, to over 37 million wallets across 8 major blockchain ecosystems, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, XRP, and Cardano itself. Notably, venture capitalists will be entirely excluded from the airdrop. In a departure from typical token launches, the Glacier drop will avoid institutional allocations, instead of rewarding only everyday users who will have full control to trade or hold the tokens post-distribution. This is a nice initiation of the common man into the crypto world. Let's see how that goes. Midnight, currently in its testnet phase, is expected to go live in late 2025. The sidechain is designed not just to enhance privacy, but also to encourage interoperability by allowing developers to pay fees using native tokens from other chains such as Bitcoin or ETH, eliminating the need for wrapped assets or conversions. That would be interesting. That would be very interesting for the Cardano ecosystem and might do something for the price. And finally, the best meme coins to buy now for 10x gains as the crypto market heats up. Let's see what they are according to this dude here. Pepe is one, Bonk another, Dog with Hat, Solaxi might be one, but that's only 4. Where is the rest of them? So the usual suspects. Take heed, peeps, take heed. Might be. Oh no, this is 10x gain. So this is just the 4 that he mentions. Pepe, Bonk, Dog with Hat, and Solex. Maybe, maybe not. Whatever the case may be, do remember to pick up the Cent wallet. Right now you can get one. If you purchase 1 copy, you get it with a $30 discount. If you buy 2, you get a $99 discount. And right now the Cent has a event going on. They're giving away 120 DAG tokens for anybody who holds the Cent wallet. So if you've purchased a Descent wallet in the past and you have it now, you can participate in the giveaway within the wallet. So go check it out. You just I think you all you need is $1 worth of DAG and then start trading. And of course, the more you do it, the higher your reward will be. But all you need is $1 of DAG and you can participate in the giveaway. If you don't have a Descent wallet, then I recommend buying it anyway, because these are great. These are biometric wallets from Descent and the only wallet that will keep your crypto secure. And you should keep your crypto on off exchanges and in your wallet. I've got a bunch of videos on the Descent wallet, one individual walkthrough about the wallet, and then just recently I posted a video about the 3-in-1 mobile wallet, which you should check out if you're interested in buying a Descent wallet anyway. So do that right now. Also remember to smash the like, subscribe, leave me a comment in the comment section below, ask any questions, and I will see you on Monday. Have a fantastic weekend. Crypto Father out.